The federal government has debunked news making rounds about its decision to hand over public universities to private investors. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, announced this at the quarterly engagement of education ministers with directors, heads of agencies and parastatals. We have details in this report. The federal government has debunked news making rounds that its decision to hand over public universities to private investors. Minister of Education Professor Tahir Maman announced this on Tuesday on July 16, 2024 at the quarterly engagement of education ministers with directors, head of agencies and parastatals under the ministry held in Abuja. Recall that the Congress of University Academics had raised alarm over claims that the federal government was making moves to hand over public universities to private investors, saying it will not be in the interest of the country. Correspondent Kunuju reports that the minister, while speaking on the sideline of the second quarterly engagement with head of department and unit, chief executive of parastatals, described the insinuation as misinformation as well as misinterpretation of government policy in respect of tertiary education. He said that the government of the day believed in the provision of public institutions and that the government has not shied away from reforms that this country needs.
Some people have been carrying the information that the federal government is selling off or to private investors universities. This is absolute lie. This is completely false. This government believes in the provision of public institutions. However, as we all know, this government has not shied away from.
The minister maintained that the private sector for decades have played a major role in the provision of tertiary education, adding that there are more private universities in Nigeria than all the government-owned combined. He disclosed that what the present administration has done is to open up the tertiary education level, in particular, the universities for global competitiveness, and that allows those who operate in this area at international level to come into the country and set up institutions either by themselves or in collaboration with local university under very clear guidelines of what is called transnational education.
This is what this government has opened up. Now, national institutions setting up campuses or setting up completely new institutions in those countries. Those have taken standards to those countries.
Maman further explained that in other parts of the world, countries benefit immensely from having renowned international institutions setting up campuses or setting up completely new institutions in those countries.